sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Welcome, everybody. This is Andrew David, Blake Newbar's partner program. It's Monday, August 16th. Absolutely fantastic day. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. If you're watching live, pleasure to have you guys here. As always, it's great having you guys on. If you're watching on the recording, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, comment below. Let me know how what you guys think of everything. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you do. So the high performance calls, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. Really, there's a couple of reasons. Number one is to help you guys develop out the skill set. Number two is to develop the mindset. We're creating here really a group of individuals that are consistently pushing themselves forward. And so I congratulate you guys for that. It takes work to become better. And it takes an awareness and an openness and hopefully a bit of humility for you to recognize that you need it, right? Especially for some of you guys looking and going, who's this kid that's on here? And now we've all been through, our own trials. We've all had our own things that we've dealt with. You guys are here because you're looking for something different. You're wanting to grow, and I applaud you for it. That journey is never the easiest one to take, right? Most people, I truly think most people on this planet really just go the path of least resistance, right? It's the easiest thing to do. Just kind of go along doing what you're doing. It gives you the rights to complain, doesn't it? You get to bitch and moan. Life isn't giving you all that it should, and yet you're just cruising along on the winds of change, and you're okay with it. Now, you guys are different. You are allowing yourselves to be forged in a fire that lifts you up and forces you to grow, and that's fantastic. You just need to keep at it. So I want to talk a little bit today about one of the important things that's necessary during this pathway, and it's a phrase that's been spoken of quite a few times, but we hear all the time when it comes to this whole entrepreneurial world, or even now outside of it, especially starting around the 80s and 90s, this growth mindset, personal development really became much more mainstream. And it wasn't just Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and a handful of others talking with affirmations. And then The Secret that came out, now years ago, first the book and then the movie, and this whole metaphysical world of growth. But study after study have shown that there's some truth there. And you have the ability to grow yourselves. So looking at growth mindset, what it is and what that means, okay, you have here a couple of different things. I want you to look at it and think about, now I'll give you guys these slides in the Google Drive that you've got access to. Have access to it, guys. Join the Skype challenge group. If somebody can drop the Skype group link into the chat, please. You guys can just click on that, join the chat. Inside that, there's a Google Drive that has a series of documents that you guys can check out. Let me pull that up so you can see what I'm talking about here. That's not what I meant. We meant to be here. Okay. So inside here, when we look at the folder, it's in my other one. I'll pull it up in a minute. Sorry. Anyway, there's documents inside there. I'm going to share the slides with you. So growth mindset, fixed mindset. So how many of you guys constantly say, I'm just no good at tech. I'm just not good at that. I'm not going to worry about it. Right? I'm either good at it or I'm not. I know challenges are important, but I'm doing okay. Now, most of us don't wake up and say, if you look in this fixed mindset, the gray one, where it says my potential is predetermined, or when I'm frustrated, I give up. You don't wake up saying that. I don't talk with you guys, and when I look at things and I ask you what is going to be important for you to attain your goals or to overcome obstacles, most of you don't say, I'm frustrated, I just give up. Or I take feedback and criticism personally. I don't like that. I do hear I just kind of stick to what I know. I'm good at this. I'm going to stick with that. On the other hand, people that are willing to push themselves speak a little differently. They talk about those challenges instead of saying, when I'm challenged or when it's frustrating, I give up. They say, look, it's going to help me grow. And I can learn to do any damn thing that I want. Give me feedback, talk to me and let me know, because I can utilize that as a tool. It can be constructive. Fall in love with the success of others. When you see people on vacation, when you see them achieving something, when you see them hitting certain goals, cheer them on, become a cheerleader. Because if that person can achieve it, then damn it, you can too. And that should be the recognition, right? So a few other things when it comes to a fix versus growth. The fixed challenge, they avoid, or a fixed mindset, they avoid challenges, shy away from the unknown. They don't like criticism. They feel it as a personal attack. Relies on talent. All right. Quick little relies on talent story. How many of you guys, if you think a little bit about it, know people that are excellent at what they do, but they've relied on talent? And then someone who may not be super talented, but worked their tail off and they were able to achieve more. So we go, let's take a step back to glory days. So if any of you have some high school or college glory days, this is a good time to reminisce. I want to share a story when I was in high school. So I played football my senior year, and I was 6'1", 200 pounds, left offensive tackle, the strong tackle position. Any of you guys that play football or know a bit about football, on the offensive line, that's like, that's the cornerstone, as it were. That's an important position. And I was 6 foot, not quite 6'1", barely 200 pounds, playing strong tackle in Arizona, which is a pretty big football state. I mean, not Texas or Florida, but six foot, 200 pounds, maybe 195. Not nearly as big as most of the guys that I was going against. We'll say that. And then I had a buddy on the team where he was 6'7". He weighed about 270. He had arms that, like, it looked like they hung down to his knees kind of thing, like just long, huge wingspan, and fast off the ball. He's lazy as hell. Wouldn't work out. Was in practice, excelled in practice, great in games, but never pushed himself far, right? He was the kind of guy that, simply based on his size, he ended up winning, or he got himself a scholarship to a 4-year school, to a fairly major program, D1, but then just got lazy. Wouldn't work out there, and ended up not, his grades and everything else. So he washed out. Had the natural God-given talent, never put himself to work. Our senior year, he ended up with like second team all conference. Should have been more. He should have been, one of those players of the year, rated. Nowadays they have those ratings, right? Meanwhile, I ended up getting like second team all state just because of the work. And this isn't I was not nearly as talented as he was, and I was never going to play beyond high school, really, at all. But I worked, and I worked hard, because I didn't have as much of that talent. And it's not like I was the only one. We had some of those guys, right? I mean, we've all seen that movie, Rudy, right? Everybody's seen that? Great movie. There's another one with Mark Wahlberg, the player for the Eagles or the Jets. Not Miracle, but you guys, if you haven't, Invincible, that's the name of it. But another great movie. Guys that weren't naturally talented. They just worked. Now, you may sit down and you're looking at your business with marketing and entrepreneurship and everything else, and you're going, man, I'm just not good at this. Then work harder, because you can develop the talents that you need. You can develop them. You absolutely can. Talent's given, so you will do more, not less. Work is for everyone. Absolutely, Michael. All right. Focus on yourself. This is the fixed mindset. Threatened by success. You see other people succeed. You get frustrated with it. Become impatient. They give up easily, and they seek approval from others, from parents, from spouses. Asking permission for your own success. How many times have you done that in your life? How many times have you woken up during the day and you asked someone else permission for you to achieve your goals? Instead of understanding that the power is in your hand and having the clarity of purpose to go out and chase it down and do whatever is necessary, you ask somebody else. Now, if you can flip the script there and develop out the growth mindset and understand that the permission's already been there, given to you by the divine, whether you believe that to be God or the universe, the power is in your hands. Understand that the process is just as important as the end result. The success of others inspires you because it helps you understand that failure along that pathway allows you to grow. And as long as you persist, then you can overcome any challenge in your pathway. Develop out, guys, the growth mindset, because that's everything. What you think you truly will become. Okay, so a couple of quick things. Understand that whenever you act, you perform a conscious choice. It is your responsibility. Where you are now, though influenced by others and others' actions, ultimately is a culmination of the choices that you made. So if you want to change the place that you're in, it begins with the choices that you make starting today. So first, what's your desired outcome? Financially, health, relationships. When do you want to achieve it? Why do you want to get there? Are you totally clear on what that is? And then be willing during that time to measure not just the outcomes, but measure your progress. Okay. Next, in order to do that, part of the growth mindset is to understand that learning is part and parcel for the course. You've got to do that, but you've got to understand what you should learn. So ask yourself, in order to achieve the goals that you have, what do you have to learn? How will you learn it? Where are you going to get the information? How are you going to practice? And then put it on your calendar. So looking at these today, I'm going to drop this into the Skype challenge group. These slides, I'm going to put this exact picture in there. I want you to pull it up and look at it and be honest with yourself and look at what you need to do with your mindset. Where do you need to work on things to develop out a larger proportion of the growth mindset? And I've talked about this before, but even if you do personal development and you've been working on yourself, there are certain elements that are still fixed. All of us have them. And it's picking one at a time and developing out the growth aspect of it step by step. So do that. I'm going to provide that image today. I want you to sit and think about it, understand where you're going, and then let's develop out the mindset we need to get there. So on that note, I'm going to give that to you guys. I want you to go out, create some content. Use this image today. Post it, right? There's content all over the place that you guys can talk about. We've talked about this before about, if you want to be a little controversial, well, hey, all over the world right now, there's all sorts of stuff you can talk about without upsetting people. Some of you guys chimed in. I posted on my page, on my Facebook page, asking about ribeye versus filet mignon or wherever you had the best steak ever. So do something, right? I gave you some content. I'm going to give you some more for following days coming up. But go out, push yourselves, continue to grow, continue to be excellent. I will talk with you guys tomorrow. Take care. And sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are.